Hello everybody, welcome to another episode here at the YYC Real Estate Show. I'm excited to have our guest here, a local artist.
Hello.
Candice. We will be excited to hear about her in a second, but we will give you the weekly update as always. It is May 11th. And what is the current state of the Calgary real estate market? Still in that hot seller's market. Yeah. Exciting news is that the new benchmark price is $550,800, which is a record for a detached home in town. And a lot of times people think this is the best time to buy or sell, which statistically it usually is. The spring is the best time to list and sell. However, due to the market we're in, any time this year is a great time to sell.
Oh yeah, crazy.
But the things you want to be ready for because of this intense seller's market we're in is be cautious and know where you are going to next. Mm-hmm. You know, your home will sell because of the market we're in, but where are you going to go next? Are you prepared? Do you have a good agent on your side to be able to navigate this intense seller's market when you become the buyer?
Yeah.
So to prepare yourself, you know, I always tell my clients, I've helped my clients, have your mortgage broker ready and on standby. Yeah. In the event that you have to go in unconditional. Just make sure you are okay to not put that finance condition.
Yeah.
So, you know, be open and have that full communication with your lender and have a good agent. Any of us three here will help you out.
100%.
Fantastic. So let's go into what happened in YYC Real Estate in the last 7 days. A total of 792 sales. This is all the sectors. Includes 2 full duplexes, which is a cool sale, yeah. One in Northmount Drive and one on 17A Street Southwest. So 2 full duplexes are included in that 792 sales. There was 382 detached. The top 2 leading the way were both in Springbank, both on Post Hill Drive. 3.6 million and 3,075,000. So those were the top 2 sales in the last week. There was 90 semi-detached sales, 119 townhouses, followed by 198 condo sales, which I helped out with yesterday.
Nice.
Made it right in the cusp.
Part of this stats. You're a statistic.
In
a good way.
Yeah, I'll touch on that as well. You know, sometimes you have to go over and above to get it done. And it was a situation where I did have to find something that was off market. Mm-hmm. This is where you highlight your skills and your network, and I had to work really diligently. But thanks to Giselle and Guy Cooley over at Remax First, so shout out to them for making it happen for my clients. It was really smooth transaction dealing with them. But we'll touch on that a little later. I'll pass it over here to Zach. Sebastian. Let's just go over to Sebastian here.
Yeah, sure. The things I wanted to mention is that it's provincial election time, right? And the question I really want to answer is, will the current housing market situation be an avenue that the politicians are going to be discussing or plan to address, right? Because renters do not have enough supply, and we need that to go up, because if the supply doesn't go up, the renters are going to have to keep on paying more, right? Mm-hmm. So the CMHC has announced that they will expect the pace of new construction to slow, right, in 2023. We will need to build about 3.5 million homes by 2030 to meet with the demand, right?
Big
and
demand.
we're building in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all Canada.
Yeah, and we're building about 120,000 homes a year right now. So we're not exactly meeting up to that demand, which could be an issue, right? That means that rental prices could go up, and we'll see how they plan to address that.
That low inventory is still experiencing.
Yeah. So I'm very curious if they're going to mention that. Hopefully, I can touch on that next podcast if they do come up with some.
Yeah, we'll keep tuned and see what they do. I mean, we all know the situation the country's in. We're actually feeling a little bit of different scenario here in our province compared to Ontario and BC, which we've touched on. We're experiencing a seller's market, whereas they're experiencing a dip and up to 20% drop in their sales and in their sales prices. Mm-hmm. So we're still feeling in a good place. It's energetic. Grass is green here in town. Everyone's
Oh yeah.
So it's a good time.
Awesome.
What's some cool stuff around town that people
I mean, Calgary's got a hidden gem for home decors, if that's something people are interested. There's this, right now vintage is in season, right, for Calgary. So if you're looking for a place, Unshelf Boutique is a one-on-one of a kind consignment for secondhand store, right? And like it's a secondhand store in Calgary where you can find all things decor and home goods, right? The unique twist about Unishelf Boutique is that it saves leftover trendy, right, modern decor from going to the dump and gives them a second chance by finding them a good home, right? They do all kinds of things like staging and with their inventory too, right? So they're a pretty cool place to check out. So if you're looking to stage your home or find a new piece of furniture, I'd recommend checking them out.
That's fantastic with all the renovations happening in the springtime and everything. It's a good time to get there and check them out.
Where are they?
Cool.
They are located in their 3411 8th Street, Southeast Calgary.
Yeah, one cool thing I did hear about them as well is you can go in there with like a photo of your room, and they'll help you and give you some ideas and then kind of cater to what you need.
Yeah.
And obviously they're very competitive pricing wise. So anyone out there thinking about staging or needing help for one of their investments like Airbnb, it's a good one to consider to help you out.
That's awesome.
What you got going
Yeah.
on, Zach?
Well, it's spring is here. We all want to get outside, enjoy the nice weather, get active. So the CSSC, which is the Calgary Sport and Social Club, is open for registration. So they're a public-based, you call it league or association. So they offer indoor and outdoor programs, a variety of sports, slow pitch, beach volleyball, bowling, cornhole, flag rugby. So if you're looking to get out into the community, meet some people, have some fun, get active, that's the place you're going to want to go. It's a very big sense of community. I've talked to some people who are involved in that league, that association. And like I said, it's not only about the sports, it's about the community involvement. I'm getting out there. We all want to be in the sun. We're all experiencing that green grass Shiraz was talking about. So check them out. This is the Calgary Sport and Social Club League, and they're open for registration as of the springtime. So yeah, that's awesome. We also want to talk about community to watch is Chestermere. So they're digging up dirt as the development of Clearwater Park residential begins in the city of Chestermere. Clearwater Park will be a 580-acre community along Highway 1 in Chestermere that will add approximately 10,000 new residents and will host more than 3,500 homes.
Wow.
So if you're looking at Chestermere is a beautiful community. I love those kind of outside. We all love the city of Calgary, but those Cochrane, Airdrie, Chestermere, you're close to the rush, but still in that kind of smaller town feeling. So that's exciting news. If you're looking to get to Chestermere, contact one of us. Obviously, we can get a step into that new community. So things are bumping there. Yeah. Speaking of Chestermere, actually, I do have after the show today, I have a listing presentation in Chestermere. I'm excited about a really good client that wants me to come and kind of give him an evaluation on his home. So hopefully next podcast, that'll be a listing that I can talk about with you guys on the show here. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's talk about our guest here.
Yes.
Sure. Well, you're all probably wondering how I fit in this equation. So, my name is Candice. I also go by Miss Fudge. That's my artist name. I'm a singer and songwriter. But first and foremost, here at Cashyn Homes, I am sales and marketing manager. So so it's a really exciting role. I've been here for about 7 months, exploring all the different things that real estate investing has to offer, and it's just been, you all have been a wealth of knowledge, and Anthony and Brennan have been great mentors for me as well, because I actually come from a luxury cosmetics and education management background for that part of my career. So kind of a bit about what I do on the side. So I'm really happy that you guys are so invested in community. I think it's so important, and it just helps us all grow, on a personal level and professional level, right? If we could tie in together and find common ground. So if you're speaking of staging and looking for things for your home, I'm actually going to be performing at an art show.
Oh, right.
So it's the 15th annual Art Spot YYC. You can check them out on Instagram at I think it's Art Spot YYC. And that was through Emma. Emma was the founder, Emma McCall. And it's been going strong for 15 years. I've been a part of many of her events in the back before, doing some singing. Also, so we hosted a fun karaoke thing last summer. It was really awesome. So basically with that, it's you would come in, take a look at all the artwork, see the many performers happening. And if you've just done some renovations or you're looking for art for your home, great time to grab it. You can also get curated kind of exhibits for your home. Say if you have a big home and you're not sure what art to put up, you can also connect with some of the local artists because sometimes they'll be okay with the artwork being in your home. That way when visitors come over or you're hosting different special events, then there's an opportunity for them to purchase as well.
Good marketing for them too, yeah.
Right,
Awesome.
exactly, yeah. So again, this ties into the community so well, right? So it's I feel a little self-indulgent right now,
No,
but
it's not right.
You're our guest today. You know, it's
Thank
about,
you.
Well, we give the update, and as you know, like you mentioned, we're into the community, so the YYC Real Estate Show, it begins with the words the YYC. So we are not just a weekly real estate update show. We do like to promote everything YYC, so which is why we're excited to have a local artist, and I want to know more about that. Tell me about. Start from the beginning here. Tell me about yourself. Tell me.
Well, I was born in a small town on the shore of Nova Scotia. No, it's true, but
Wow.
So when I was little, I was just anytime I could sing, I was always singing and in choirs and doing solos, singing to my mother all the time, and it just kind of grew into part of me that I've still held on to as an adult. And I feel like when I started to get professional, it was probably around 2015, I believe it was. And then I actually started performing kind of at local events in Calgary. I've pretty much performed at every bar here, like the Commonwealth. A lot of the places have closed down. The Hi-Fi, shout out to Hi-Fi. All of these places that hosted us, Broken City for a long time. We used to do Unity Sound Saturdays. So that was reggae inspired. Our dear friend Uda, who's since passed, he was the chef. He was the singing chef. So he would not only come out and sing and jump on the mic while friends were doing the beats, and he'd be also cooking delicious jerk chicken and Ital cuisine. Yeah, so that was pretty amazing.
Rest in
and
peace
then
to
rest
Uda.
in peace to Uda. Cheers, Uda. Yes. Yeah. And so. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Then in 2016, I was in the CBC Searchlight competition, and I won Alberta's popular vote. Thank you. So that kind of catapulted me into going and performing in Quebec City, where me and some hip hop guys I was working with, because I usually sing over electronic music. I grew up singing folk music, and then it kind of just, storytelling is storytelling. So I just found new beats to write over and that sort of thing. And after winning that competition, we went to Quebec City. We opened for Sublime with Rome. That was pretty fantastic. And then I have done Shambhala Music Festival 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
With the DMB girls. Shout out DMB girls. Also, I'm part of Big Kitty Collective. So Big Kitty is a collective of multidisciplinary artists, female identifying, that kind of have, we're painters, we're singers, we're writers, we're clothing designers, all this kind of different things. So shout out to Jenny Vallis on that one. So I've just been continuously honing my craft. I'm signed with a record label in the UK called Midnight Sun Recordings. I've done a few releases with them, done some stuff with Machinist Music, shout out to Rolodex. We also have some really amazing stuff in the works. I can't speak about it too much, but some pretty big release coming up soon.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's so cathartic for me, I love having, my day job and that sort of thing, but my release is art and writing and singing, and I feel like it's so interesting when we meet people in this industry because we're also multifaceted.
100%.
It's not just about, everything has to be, real estate investing all the time. It's like we talk about those commonalities. We talk about the sports clubs and the boutiques and try to help each other, leverage each other's businesses and opportunity, right? So, I'm super grateful. I feel like I've had a lot of really amazing opportunities come forward. And another thing that I've done, like Fozzie Fest, and there's some other ones I could shout out to. Fozzie Fest, we did Wicked Woods, was really fun. So just like festivals and getting out there, doing markets, and just being with people. I've also featured when there was like DJ competition at Cowboys. This guy got me to go up and do his intro and sing for him. So I believe his name was Black was his last name. Sorry, I forget your first name. But super wicked little DJs, awesome. So just been really amazing. So, and everybody's super supportive here in the office with music for me as well. So, and Anthony and I, one of the owners of Cashyn, we kind of, we knew each other previously about 10 years ago, and we both connected through our love of music. So it's cool, like full circle moment to come and see now he's established himself so well, and to be able to support him and his venture when we've been kind of symbiotically supporting each other in the music scene and just being there for each other on a friendship level, right? So
super cool.
yeah, so be kind to everyone. You never know when you're going to work with them in the future. You never know who's going to be your boss next, right?
Yeah.
So.
Networking, it's really powerful, and you know, it's part of our industry, it's part of your industry, and it's also part of your pastime. You know, in the music industry, like don't burn bridges. Be professional. Be kind. Be a
authentic.
good person. And
Yeah.
So it's really important. I'm excited. I didn't know all this about your past in music. I remember I first met Candice here. Really excited to meet her. Always positive energy.
Sure.
Thank you.
And
Bubble.
and then I was hanging out.
Love it.
And with Anthony, you know, shout out to Anthony. We hope to have him on soon.
Yeah.
Speedy recovery. Wish him well. And we were listening to music, and then I was like, "This is really good." And he's like, "You know who's that singing?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, Candice from The Office. I'm like, "No." So I played the track again, and that's when I discovered you, started following you and everything. So.
Well, that's a good point, because she was Mrs. Humble the first time I talked to her about music, and now she's listing off these places and these festivals she's singing at, and she's kind of a big deal. So I feel like when I was sitting beside her asking her music, I was like, and now, I appreciate that. That's impressive. It's a cool thing. So my question is, do you see any similarities in the fact how you take on your music life compared to your work life? Like when you think of how you tackle some tasks and some challenges, what kind of helps you on different sides of things, if that makes any sense? Yeah,
it does. Yeah, I feel like again, shout out to my mother who put me in all of these public speaking classes when I was little. So I think that really ties into my personal and professional life and growth as an artist and singing and performing, being in front of people, and then also being kind of the face and the voice for Cashyn as I've taken a lot of the inbound calls. So that's helped me just understand people. I feel like a lot of the times when people are a little nervous to get in front of and speak, it's because they just haven't had the time to practice and to get to know kind of what their tone and texture is. And I feel very grateful that I've had the opportunity to do that. I feel like I look at things from a kind of a bird's eye perspective, dissect it all down, whether it be writing a song or figuring out KPIs, that sort of thing. Yeah. So you kind of bird's eye perspective, break it down and then build it back up. Yeah. Right? So I think that would be a parallel for music to real estate investing.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed when you organized Jeopardy here.
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
Real estate Jeopardy.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So I'm like a big advocate of having fun in the office and having games, and trivia really helps to keep the mind sharp. Yeah. And it just kind of elevates the mood a bit. And we were trying to figure out how to build relationships with some realtors, and the thought came into mind, of the Jeopardy game. And so we dug in. Carrie, our office manager, and I, and Massimo helped as well, kind of curate some questions. And then we invited everyone in. I think there was 3 players that were happening per round. And it was just really interesting to see, some people come in and they're like, I'm going to know everything. And then all of a sudden the person with kind of the least amount of experience ends up being the one that shines just because of the knowledge of, parks and recreations and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And we love throwing events here too, because we just want to get to know the community more. We want you to know us, and we don't want there to be any sort of, weird, ominous energies around the real estate investment, wholesaling, realtor aspect. Like, we're friends. There's enough to go around. We see what's happening in the industry. It's just making the right connections with the right people. And I feel like you guys are totally the right people. You make my heart warm and fuzzy. Yeah, so it's great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally.
No, we're big supporters of Cashyn.
Yeah, 100%.
Great relationship. We will grow together, all of us. So
absolutely.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah, just...
Is there anything... Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, I was just going to say, hello, Haley. I was just like to give a shout out to Haley at Green Group.
Yeah, Queen Bee.
Yes, the Queen Bee.
For sure.
We have...
She will be on soon.
Yeah, good. Awesome. I can't wait to see her again. Yeah. So, yeah, she's just really lovely. And I think that was a nice segue into meeting you as well and coming in and then the boys and stuff. So, yeah, just awesome.
Yeah, we had a few events here.
Yep.
Public speaking on my behalf. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first met you, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
That was good. Any questions, Sebastian?
I'm just curious. You as a local artist, where would you say is a good place to go and meet some of the local talent as far as singing goes? Like, where is like the spot, the bar in downtown, or where would you find a lot of these local events?
You know, we went through a real wild kind of tumultuous time with a lot of the venues closing.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just really heartbreaking over COVID, and I saw a lot of bar owners struggle. And so I think now it's very different landscape, and I think that there's a lot of pop-up events that you'll see happening at different galleries, which is really great. There's some kind of underground clubs, if you will, because we're kind of, my background is in music for the electronic scene. We're not out in those, you know, mainstream clubs. Like you're not gonna find us at like I say the Cowboys thing or something. Is Cowboys even still around? Or?
Yeah, they just came back. Yeah.
Okay, well, good on them. Yeah, perfect. I mean, that's a Calgary staple for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not dogging on them or anything, but I mean, if you want to kind of check out artists like myself, go to the art shows. Go to the market spots. Go to Commonwealth is a great place. Really fun stage to perform on. Great people. Where else would be somewhere?
I mean, when I worked at Junction, they're not around anymore. We had a lot of them there. Common, the Unicorn sometimes has people in there. That's an old bar in Calgary.
It is. I've never performed there actually. So Unicorn, holler at me.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I think one of the things, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of to your question, I think it's also like, maybe not even like a specific place to find them, but it's like word of mouth and like your friends, and like let's just say like we hear about her performing, like we make a conscious effort to tell people like she's performing at this time at this location, because that's how local talent. And then you have a huge community, and then you see people in like the crowd that you're like, oh, I invited you and you actually came, and like it's awesome. And then you know, so like that's a cool way to do it. So
yeah, we won't miss it. So please tell us and everyone when is the next
I'll have a
time.
sign.
Yeah.
I know her.
When's the next time you were gonna be performing?
Yeah, June 17th. June
Day
17th.
before my birthday.
No way! I'll sing happy birthday for you. Amazing. And that's at the 15th annual Art Spots YYC show. So we can put that in the link as well, so people know where to come and find me.
For sure.
And really looking forward to the summer. I did take the summer off of festivals this year, but because I'm going back to Nova Scotia to see my family, and I had such an amazing year last year at the festivals, that I need to get back to basics and writing music and waiting for my new releases to come out. So you won't see me on the stages there this summer, but you will see me locally performing. So you can follow me at Miss Fudge the Real on Instagram as well. Yeah. And I kind of have a plethora of things on there. I also am a makeup artist. I had a really amazing opportunity 2 years ago before lockdown for the place that I was working at. They took me over there to teach for a month. So I got to teach there. I got to go to the Taj Mahal and the Golden Temple. I know, really? Not bragging, but you know.
That's amazing. No?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So yeah, if you need any makeup advice, you can also hit me up. I do weddings and that sort of thing as well. I'm doing a trial for a mother-in-law on Saturday. Nice. So I have my hand in a whole lot of different little pots.
That's awesome.
Very energetic. Yeah, lots of hats. So very exciting. And I'm also known as kind of like the little oracle in the office. So very intuitive, which actually parallels really well to real estate investing also. You have to have good intuition, I feel, with a lot of this stuff. So we like to draw a card in the mornings or once a week. So I was hoping maybe we could draw a card today.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done it, so let's do it.
Okay, sweet. So we could draw one for the audience, we could draw one for a specific individual, or we could just draw one for kind of just the vibe. What are you feeling? Anybody want to? Anything specific? I know it's a little touchy, but
I think the YYC Real Estate Show, we're a group here. I think we do one for the vibe. For us.
And then off camera, you can come see me. We'll do personal readings.
Yes, for sure.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So I don't cry on camera.
Yeah.
After this, I want to touch more and talk to you a little bit more about your time in India, you said. Right?
Yeah, you know what? We can actually
talk more about that.
Yeah, why don't we talk more about that now, and then we can pull that at the very end.
Okay, let's do that. So,
totally.
Because I'm from Pakistan and moved here in '89. Pakistan was a part of India, so Indian culture, Pakistan culture it's the exact same culture. You know, same foods, and kind of our weddings are the same. It's like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of similarities, culture, almost identical, different languages, and we're different because of religious beliefs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've never traveled to India.
Oh wow.
1947 is when Pakistan was formed. So we were all, you know, my great-grandparents were all Indian, right? So I was just curious, and I want to know more about India. I mean, I've gone to Pakistan many, many times, but what was the first, because for me, I remember as a kid, I kind of don't remember my upbringing for those first 4 years in Pakistan. My earliest memory is here, lining up in a gymnasium, ready to go to school.
Wow.
Like, I remember that's like my earliest memory. So maybe it's like a shell
I
shock,
know,
trying to
so
make
cute.
friends. Everyone, so it was just tough. You know, I had ESL for a long time. I had to learn this language and all that kind of stuff. So
That's incredible.
I don't have my accent anymore.
Yeah. But I love how it comes out periodically.
We're
It's great.
clipping that.
That's a good
I
sound
remember
bite.
the first time we went back, and I was in elementary school, and I just remember a long airplane ride, and as soon as that airplane door opened and I walked out, it hit me like the humidity, the smell, the heat. I was all of a sudden like, I am in a different world.
It
Like,
truly is a different world.
every one of your senses is attacked.
Yes.
Sight, smell.
It's an assault on the senses.
Like,
yeah.
right away. Right away.
I'll speak to that. You know, when we were descending into New Delhi is where I went. We were coming down, and the woman beside me, and I'm talking like I had like sleep deprivation going on. It's like 36 hours in travel. We're just coming down into the city, and she looked at me and she said, "Can you smell it?" And I said, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think I do." And she goes, "What does it smell like?" And I was like, "It kind of smells like, you know, when you go to your grandparents' house and you open a chest that hasn't been opened in a while, and there's some incense sparked around there." I was like, that's kind of what it smells. It's very fragrant and heavy, and because of the humidity, it's very encompassing. So you just get off the plane, and my first experience in one of the bathrooms, I walked in, and I was expecting, you know, toilet because you're from Canada, and I walked into one of the stalls that had the opening in the floor, and I was like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna do this? And then I was just like, you know what? Namaste, Wusa, all things. When in Rome, get with it and just do it.
And they use what's called a lota, which is some water, right? So it's kind of like, what do you call those? A bidet, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because there it's like Pakistan, India, it's like toilet paper is just, it's like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Which is great because it's so good for the environment, not using that and all that waste and stuff going in with all the tissues and everything. But I mean, it was, I think the biggest thing for me was connecting with people there. Like, I'm just such a people person, and I love people so much. Like, to look in the eyes of people that, for one, I'm blonde as heck, and I was super blonde when I was there, and very white, obviously. So I was completely new to them, and they were so completely new to me. But to look in someone's eyes very deeply, and you have that soul connection, that's something you can't even, I can't even really describe how beautiful that felt. And the person I was with, actually, she said to me, she said, "How do you do that?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "You just, without even saying anything, you just connect." And I just feel like when you go to different places where your where your senses are assaulted, you need to really scale back what you think is right, what you think is real life. Like,
you're in their space.
Exactly.
Learn and thrive. I completely agree.
You do, totally. Yeah. And I think one thing, the difference between the rich and the poor and the children there, that was very staggering to me. But also the colors, the gorgeous colors everywhere, the textiles, the shoes. I bought the cutest pair of shoes there, little gold slippers. I got to go to an Indian wedding, and like I got to where it's a sari. I showed you the picture, right? Sari, yeah. And it was pink and gold, and it was so pretty. And just to see.
How many marriage proposals did you get?
A lot. I got a lot of people wanting to take pictures with me. Like, I felt just like a little superstar there. It was so cool. And when I got to teach makeup, and my boss at the time too, she was like, "So she's also a singer, can you sing?" So here I am in this auditorium in the middle of the city of Delhi, and I'm just singing to people on stage with a little microphone like Madonna attached to my head, and cute little outfits, and there was red carpet everywhere, and it was just so surreal. I come back to Canada, I'm like, who's opening my doors and getting all things for me? And no one. So so I think it was just it was really special. Oh yeah, and the crazy thing too is everyone wants to dance for you.
For the viewers out there, let me
Yeah.
teach you. If you're ever a guest at a brown wedding, okay, let me tell you what you need to do. Remember these 2 moves, all right, everybody? That's all you need to know. First move, doorknob.
Doorknob.
Okay?
Oh.
Second move, light bulb. Put them together, switch your hands.
I love it.
No, doorknob.
You know, one of the other interesting things too is when the children would come up and they would tap you on the feet.
That's funny. I love it.
Yeah, right. So
This is why I
yeah,
love our podcast. That's why I love our podcast. We go from the real estate stats to
to turning light bulbs to doorknobs. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was really cute because there's just such respect for elders and for the generations that's gone before you, and I feel like that may be something that's missing in Canada. Is that sometimes we forget to respect our elders. So that was a big takeaway for me, and the little kids coming up and touching your shoes, and and I was like, why do they keep touching my shoes? Like can you speak to that?
Yeah, so it's very prominent in my life. Only other fellow immigrants that I've met here in Canada can appreciate and understand that. Like I love all my friends dearly, like my Canadian friends, they come over, but they are kind of in shock. Because there is a very high level of respect. There's actually different words for your older, like siblings and younger siblings, like even uncles and aunts. Your mom's side of your uncles and aunts have a name, a specific type of name that's a different name from your dad's side.
Oh.
So it's like the respect is kept where it's like you'll say this and you'll know that that's my dad's side. You'll say this, that's my mom's side. But like in the culture of India, Pakistan, like there's no such thing as like an old folks home. Like there is somebody from the siblings that is like you're taking care of mom and dad.
Yeah.
And now as times are changing and as like you find that siblings kind of share the load. So I was always really happy and proud of it, and people kind of were like, "Oh, Shiraz, you're at this age, you're still living at home with your parents." I said, I'm actually not living at home with my parents. Like I own this house and they're here with me. And God bless my parents. They're retired now and they spent 6 months in Pakistan and escaped the cold, which I hope one day to retire and find a place. And may not be Pakistan, thought about taking that trip to the motherland and then redirect the plane to the Caribbean. That made more sense for me. So I feel like I'll do my retiring down there, 6 months down there, 6 months here. That's like my vision.
Beautiful.
But they really, really enjoy it. All of their friends that they grew up with are doing the same thing, and it's a really prominent thing in like my culture where they escape and give their children a better life, better education, freedom, no corruption or less corruption, and then they go back home and retire and like renovate or build a home, and they're all there. Like my dad and mom, all their like childhood friends are now there as well doing the same thing. Like they're from Norway, they're from England, my parents are from Canada, they're from America, and they're all like escaping winter and enjoying life, and it's really cool to see them enjoying that. And then they come here in the summertime and go back and forth from my house to my sister's house.
Cool.
And just like enjoy their grandkids and stuff. So some people don't understand it, but when you understand the level of respect for family and elders, you understand. It's like I can't to this day imagine like raising my voice swearing like to my parents.
Yeah, wow.
It's like it's a big thing. So.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's pretty phenomenal, and just to go there and like you said, like it's sometimes the family homes that you go in and everyone's there and you see just kind of the pictures on the walls of everybody when they were really young and now they're raising all, like everyone's it's such a great family dynamic, and the food, you will never leave hungry. Like there's always someone trying to feed you.
It's a big culture thing.
Yeah, just pretty amazing. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, I want to know more about your trip there. Like, what was the craziest thing? Like I showed these guys a photo. Like my dad spoiled me when I went, and he's like, "You can't get this," and I had a pet monkey for like holidays.
A monkey tried to steal my purse at a castle we went to. Yeah, it was pretty funny. They're like, "Don't move," and I was like, "Why not?" And they're like, "There's a monkey trying to steal your purse," and I was like, so I was getting a photo taken, and the backdrop was like this stone wall against like a really beautiful like just open backdrop, and I was like, "Oh no, it's gonna come for me," but it didn't. It was great, but I think the opulence too, and just the attention to detail, the craftsmanship that goes into a lot of things was pretty special. Again, the people, Raju was he was kind of the person that was taking care of me. And
Raju,
yeah, he was amazing. And it's actually so funny because music is such a commonality that he found out that I was into music, and he actually came when he was delivering somebody to my room. When I was sick, I had a little respiratory infection when I was there. So he was delivering me some toast and tea, and he was like, I hear you like music. He's like, my cousin is a rapper. Can I show you a video? So we sat and bonded with this video of his cousin rapping, and I'm not sure where he was from, but it was just and the heavy bass lines. I love the heavy bass lines in Punjabi music, Pakistani, all like the beautiful, it's incredible. Like we just spoke the same language through music there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I bought a gorgeous painting from one of the painters. We went to an outdoor market, and it was kind of my last day of figuring out what to get for everyone. And
outdoor market, Bazaar.
Yes, I went there. Yes, it's so amazing. And just, it was really cool. And the guy was so humble, and he had like a big stack of paintings, and they were all kind of generic, of like Buddha and things like that. And then I saw this one. It was very abstract, with blues and greens and yellows and everything. And I was like, well, this one is amazing. He's like, oh, no, that's my personal. And I was like, but it was in with all the other things. I was like, no, if it's in the stack, like I'm going to buy it. Do you want me to buy it from you? And then, he was just so happy. We bonded and took a picture, and I have it displayed brightly on my wall. The artwork there was amazing. I got to go to Jaipur. Is that how you say Jaipur? Pink City?
Jaipur.
Jaipur, yeah.
Just roll the R's. That's all you need to do.
Like, and no. But that was really cool because at night I don't know what is that? Is it sandstone or what is that stone?
I've never been.
Oh yeah, you've never been. That's right. I'm talking to you like you've been there. But so it was this giant building that looked almost like a movie set, and because it was very skinny, and it was all of these little tiny facets were cut out in windows and that sort of thing to help the wind blow through so it wasn't so hot in there. And then there was all these little patterns of like stained glass almost, so that it would light the inside up with all these colors at different parts of the day. And also to go through castles, and you could see how their irrigation systems were and how their, it was just so much. It was so magical. And going through, the one thing that was kind of strange to me too, because I'm not a super religious person. I'm very spiritual and universal and that sort of thing. But how I want to put it, it was just interesting to see that some of the temples were so clean and so well taken care of, yet the streets were a little ignored.
Yeah.
And that was
very if it's anything like Pakistan.
Yeah, and that was kind of a little. I'm like, it's great to have these amazing beliefs and to keep those temples clean, but to me, it was just kind of like, let's do it for each other too. We're here on Earth, and we can let's share that with each other. So that was a takeaway. But overall, I just think it was. It was loud in the best way possible. Everything was bells and whistles and beep beep beep. They don't use blinkers. Don't use blinkers.
Wedding, right? How about they call it the dole, which is like that drum that he's got over his neck. It's all bass.
Yeah.
That thing's loud.
And
right?
the dancing there was amazing, and the way that they get carried in on these like, I don't know what it is. What is that called? Like a chariot kind of thing. They get carried in, and flowers everywhere. Just everybody laughing and having such a great time. And I mean, like, there's drinks and stuff like that, but it's not about the drinks or that I could see and drugs and things like that. Like, it was all love and just like wanting to have a good time. And if you're not having a good time, they see that, they come over and be like, dance, let's dance. And at first I was a little shy because I'm like, why does everyone keep wanting to dance with me? Like,
it's one thing that's very prominent. Like any brown wedding, no one's gonna judge you. You're not gonna look bad. Like don't get self-conscious.
Yeah.
Just move. Just
dance. Move. Let it out.
I mean, I wish I could pop up a picture of you wearing that dress, that stunning dress at the wedding. Yeah, that was incredible.
That was so fun. Yeah, maybe post-production you can slip it in there. But that was amazing going to that wedding. I was super lucky because the people that I went with, they were in touch with Rotary Club. So it was a wedding for one of their affiliates that they had got a relationship with. They invited this person to the wedding, and so we got to go as their guests, and it was 3 massive rooms. Like, I'm talking, if you think about BMO Center, like the fraction off into 3 sections, it was just like one of those massive warehouses, but it was like inside, outside, and then one of the buildings looked like this big, like it had big pillars, like almost like looking like a courthouse kind of thing, but with no walls. And then there was all this like top shelf liquor was all lit up with like neon colors and fireworks. One of the things was like I went up to this wall of roses, and I'm talking like a huge wall of roses, and they were all real, and they were just selected, put in there individually.
Wow.
Yeah, so the attention to detail is just phenomenal. Attention to detail, connection, and architecture was just my three main things that I absolutely just loved. And the food, that's like everybody should go there for the food. Yeah, street food's amazing.
Touching on the architect, tell me about your experience at the Taj Mahal. It's like something everyone wants to see in their lifetime, right?
Trippiest thing, it's so okay, so you go through Agra, and Agra is like this very congested, intense like town that they have all these markets set up when you're going towards Taj Mahal, and then you get in the doors and everything, and in the middle of me going down, they're like, ma'am, trying to get to buy things and stuff like that, souvenirs, or to just talk to you, you know? Yeah. And so we finally get inside the gates of the Taj Mahal, and then it's silent, serene. And it's like it almost just encroaches on you, and it comes up from your line of sight, and all of a sudden you're like, holy, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Shit, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is like the freaking Taj Mahal, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just because it's a wonder of the world. It is spectacular.
Isn't it one of the 7 wonders of the world?
It sure is, yeah. And it's so smooth. Everything was so smooth to the touch. Oh yeah, I love touching everything.
Really, love touching?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
What did you learn? Like, did they teach you and give you a guide on the history of it? Like, I'm always, we all hear about it growing up a little bit, but it's like, what's the story? Like, I heard it was built for some Maharaja's wife or something.
It was, because apparently it was built for her. Now I might have the story wrong.
Didn't he have a mistress and she found out, so he built it for her to like say sorry?
Exactly.
Well, I could be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure
that's what I gathered from what I've learned about it.
Yes, that's how it was explained to me. And again, you can correct us if we're wrong in the comments.
Talk about a cover-up.
Yeah, right? And so he built this amazing, the building, and then there's 2 other buildings beside it. And apparently, the story was that he had built it for his wife because he found out about the mistress. And then all of the artisans, he gathered up and he cut all their hands off.
Oh,
so they could never
again, right?
recreate the beauty again.
Wow.
And I was kind of mad that I went there in an instant. I was like, damn it, I shouldn't have even, I felt so supported. But then I was like, Candice, you're in India and it's a wonder of the world. Like,
yeah, it's a part in history. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things we see now that probably, if you really dig into the backstory of how things were made and done, it's not the best thing you want to support, but it's history, and hopefully you learn from it and change. But it's pretty crazy. I mean,
it was cool, and it's very like it's like it has chambers that you go in and out of. It's very fluid, lots of air going through. So there was like this one spot where the guide was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Candice." And he goes, "Candice." And it goes, "Candice," up into the freaking thing, like the tunnel. And it just echoed all through Taj Mahal. And I was like, "I'm the luckiest girl in the world."
So how big is it? Like,
it's huge.
Like, but like in terms of like, is it like, I don't know,
probably tens of thousands of square feet.
Yeah.
Like lengthwise, like how long would it be? Like half a football field? Like, is it a big like property?
It's huge. The property's massive, and even the garden, or like there's a big fountain leading up to it. That is just really stretched out, huge. You can see that in a lot of the pictures. And then when you go up, it's just very open. I'd say, football field is probably a good thing. Are you Googling it? Yes, Google machine. Get it. So another cool place too that I got to go, I can't remember exactly the temple, but there was a ceremony going on about Shakti, and it was a celebration of, so Shakti was the goddess, and correct me if you know Shakti, like this.
I just know the word Shakti in my language means power.
Power, exactly, yeah. And so it was celebrating this goddess and this power and this feminine energy, and I feel like so lucky to have had these opportunities, and I got to go into this temple while this was going on, and they took me right to the front, and they had the marigolds, correct? Yeah, all around me, and then they pushed me up to the front, and then what do you call it? It's not a priest. It would be like a
Voodoo?
Rabbi?
Voodoo?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I know, right? So there was just magical being at the front. And so they put the red on my forehead, and then they gave me a little treat in my mouth, and the bell was ringing. There was people praying all around. Like, it was wild. Yeah. So I just felt completely immersed in the culture, and
Baptized Indian stuff.
I was, yeah, totally. So
Sam, you got it there?
So yeah, it says here that the mosque itself is 60 meters long by 30 meters wide, right? But it sits on the square that's 300 meters by 120 meters long.
Wow.
So that is just 300 meters is like 3 football fields. Right?
Yeah.
It is just, and it sits on 42 acres of land.
it's really staggering.
I wonder what the base sale on that.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger buildings on Taj Mahal, right?
Yeah.
Is that mosque?
Yeah.
Mosque is like a church, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised I thought India, the Taj Mahal, I thought it was just a big house.
Another good thing there, they have delicious pizza. They call it pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza, but they say pizza.
They do J's instead of Z's, right?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza, yeah. Yeah. Just the cute little accents. Well, I guess it's not an accent to them, but an accent to me. That was just really adorable too, and I kept kind of giggling. I was laughing the whole time, and some people, well, why are you laughing? I'm like, I don't know. It's just amazing, and I'm just trying to take it all in and enjoy it. Yeah, totally. So yeah, very, very cool experience. That's something I'll take in my heart forever, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to check it out one day too.
I think it's essential that you do. Yeah, I feel like everyone should go there and experience. And I think just travel in general. Travel makes you just and if you don't have the opportunity, I totally get that. Not saying you're not a good person if you don't travel, but I feel like for myself, my heart and my mind has opened up so much more because I've gotten to see the duality that life has to offer, and just the differences in culture and family, in creating artisans and things like that too. So it just puts things into perspective, and then really grateful to come back to Canada as well, because I'm telling you, the air quality, we should be so grateful and thankful every day we wake up when we are able to breathe with this beautiful, gorgeous air.
Clean water.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Even I was just in Mexico not too long ago, and just for my 40th birthday. And so just not being able to just go and put my head under the tap, which sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but the bathroom water in the tap water in your bathroom, for some reason, if you're really thirsty in the middle of the night, it just really hits it. So yeah, right. So I just it was interesting to not be able to do that, and we just take so many things for granted, I think. And when you travel, you really see the world for what it is, and
Yeah, I think I'm at least me. I'm sure you guys are the same, but I'm always a little more appreciative of my life here when I come back after traveling. Right? There's so many luxuries that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis, and you get a big reality check when you go places, especially if you go to places that they consider third world, or they want to call them third world. You get there's so much poverty there, corruption and stuff. When you come here, it's kind of tough to complain. Here.
Well,
and yet
I
people
feel
still
like
even
when I was growing up, I always remembered saying to people in even junior high and high school, I'm gonna finish high school and move away and get out of the city. But now I'm excited to get buyers that aren't from Calgary and have them ask me do you like the city? I'm I love it. I'm a born and raised here, and it's something that you take for granted. And for Calgary being in every basically top 5 stat of everything in the world, for livable, for cleanliness, for communities,
sunlight.
So they're pretty cool. But we're blessed for sure.
Our rivers run turquoise. Some places in the world they run brown. So that's a pretty big difference.
For sure.
Yeah, one thing that we should definitely never take for granted is the fact that we can have digital signatures on our real estate deals instead of physical signatures, right? Because in Mexico, you have to sign everything in person. Everything has to be done. Every little amendment and price change and everything has to be done in person instead of just being hey, you just tap your phone.
It used to be like that even here, right, pal? In those days.
I don't know nothing about
That's what we call old school.
Finding the closest Staples or UPS to scan and fax.
We haven't had that many.
Awesome. I'm done. I want to see what our vibe is. If that's
I want to do these cards.
Oh my goodness, yes, let's do it. So who who would like to be the person who shuffles, or would you all like to take a turn to shuffle them out so you all have the energy in? Okay, amazing. So generally with cards, I want to shout out my girl Andy, also an incredible DJ. She's part of the D&B Girls. She goes by Mitz. Check her out. She's going to be performing at Shambhala this year. She gifted me these amazing cards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this is the Animal Spirit Guidebook, The Wild Unknown, and if you kind of look into the front page, why I love this book so much, or actually, sorry, it's on the inside here. It says, 2 feet, 4 feet, scales or hide, may our minds stay open and our wings span wide. So it's just all about growth, integrity, knowing yourself, being open to receiving messages. We have these messages that come into, you hear different conversations when you're walking down the street sometimes, and you're like, was that message meant for me? And just things that pop in our daily life. Take notice of those little things because, maybe the universe is trying to tell you something, right? So, and these cards are very, there's not a reverse side to them. There's no witchcraft or anything going on. It's just truly for fun and entertainment and spirituality, right?
Nice.
So I'm just going to shuffle some energy out first. And then I'm just going to knock on them to clear the energy. And then I'll pass off to my left so you can go ahead and start shuffling. When you feel that you're ready, I'm going to get you to just set them down. And then Shiraz, you can pick them up. Same shuffle till you're ready. And then Zach, you can pick them up.
Hey, that's the Pakistan shuffle.
Yeah?
How do you know that?
Actually, my friend from India taught it to me.
There you go.
Oh, amazing!
I just thought with all the India talk, maybe you were just trying to do
No, actually,
Maybe that was
Spirit came
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Are we going this way or me?
What do you feel? What's your
So you
feeling?
pass it to the left.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
feel like
can
we
go
should-
that. Yeah.
Drive for the
Exactly.
rock.
So you-
Drive for the
No,
rock.
you're going to keep that energy in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep the good vibe rolling. Was this mine? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's Taki make me thirsty. Thank you for the drinks. Shout out to the Grizzly Paw Brewing Company, Canmore,
Shout
Alberta.
out, I'm gonna have to.
I know, right? Sorry.
Oh my god.
Now, is that a sign?
Is that a sign? Yeah, you drop the cards.
Yeah, you just pick them right back up and scoop them in.
Yeah.
It could be a little
Maybe that's part of it.
nerves, anxious, and
Yes,
stuff
yes.
like that. Yeah.
I've never had these in my hand before.
Yeah, it's interesting, and thank you for taking a moment to really put the energy in and let it flow. And so when we have events here at Cashyn, we're doing kind of the podcast out of the Cashyn office here. We do at the end of the night usually do a card reading for individuals who are open to that. And the last time we had the event, I was just so busy and kind of forgot. And then 2 of the mortgage brokers stopped me, and they were like, "So, are we not going to be pulling
Sorry,
cards
we
tonight?"
came for the.
Yeah, we came for the
readings.
card reading.
Nice event and all, but.
Yeah. And then
Thanks, but no thanks.
when you're finished, you're gonna put it down. You're gonna
There
cut
we
the
go.
deck twice.
And in Pakistan, you look at your opponent.
Oh, I love
Back
it.
the
Yes.
One more for good measure. There
Amazing.
it is.
Great. And then you're gonna set the pile down. You're gonna cut it twice with your non-dominant hand.
Cut it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to the left.
Yep. And
cut
then you
it
want to
again.
do another cut, right? So
Put it
you're cutting
here.
it twice. Yep. And then you're gonna pile them back up to the way that you want them piled up, so that you have the selection of the card on top. So pile them back up to one pile. Great. And then you're gonna flip the card for me.
The first one.
Yeah. And we'll take a little looky-loo. Whoa! This is amazing! Oh my gosh. The hawk.
Box.
I have chills. Okay, this is a really incredible card. So also when you read cards, sometimes I like to do a little overview. Chakras are if you don't know what chakras are, it's the alignment, the power that goes up through your spine. There's all these different energy centers that can be woken up and aligned to kind of help us, promote our inner light more, if you will. So yellow is solar plexus, yellow and orange solar plexus area. So that's where your self-confidence comes into play. Okay. Red is your root chakra, so it means very balanced, very base. You have a good base going on so that you're able to be confident and able to tackle on the world, essentially. So this is a very, very strong card when it comes to creation, confidence, acknowledgement of where you come, and acknowledgement of where you're going. Okay, so this is really beautiful considering it's the 3rd podcast for you guys, and I'm just so excited to have this.
8th.
Is it the 8th? Sorry, why did I think it was the 3rd?
It's okay, we're 2
Sorry,
months
it's
in
the
now.
3rd.
It's okay.
So actually, 8 is the number of infinity, so that's going to go on forever. So this is amazing.
The 8th
Great.
one.
The 8th wonder of the world. I
Yes.
love it. All right, let's check out what the book says. So, the hawk. So, sorry, sometimes they hide on me.
It's all right.
Where's the hummingbird, the bee, the bat. So this is part of the air element.
That's it.
Is it? Did I skip it?
Yeah.
That's the crow, yeah.
There it is.
Eagle. Hawk's right beside it. Hawk! Perfect. Okay. Watchful, all-seeing, messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eye on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. When you're in balance, you see clearly and are very intuitive. When you're out of balance, you may see too much and become suspicious. To bring yourself into balance, perspective shift.
I think that suits the podcast so well.
That literally does.
We are messengers here, right? We're out like here giving information and
Yeah.
telling people what's happening in their city. So that's,
and we've
I
had
think
so
that
many
suits us.
we've had so many talks too about when we don't think something's going right, we've changed it, we've adjusted, we've
Yes.
learned, we've gotten better every episode. That's
It's amazing.
wow.
Episode 8.
I would like it.
That's amazing.
That's great here for us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
guys
you
so much for having me. It's been
Of
awesome.
course, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess we're getting to be the last couple minutes of the hour. So I always like to do this thing with the sales team as well. So it's kind of like at the end of the sales meetings, we want to big up each other. So I just want us to go around and just kind of say something to kind of tie up this episode of the podcast, and just say something that you've really taken away from the person next to you. So you go to I guess we could go to the left. And then you start, and then we'll go around. So you would say something about the person to your left.
To my left, so
Yeah.
saying something about Zach, right? All right, definitely. So the person to my left here, Zach,
Yeah.
amazing guy, and he just radiates confidence, right? And that's something that everybody should take. He is a guy that will figure out the answer if he doesn't know it, right? And he is just goes at every obstacle and task with full confidence that he can get it done, and he always does. So that's definitely something I take from Zach.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. To my left, we got Shiraz here.
The man.
I don't think we got enough time to talk about how much this guy's impacted my life and Sebastian's too. It's amazing to see that the help that he is so easily ready to give. He's an amazing person. It's crazy to see how good of I couldn't imagine him being a better husband and a dad to his family. He's a family member to us on the podcast here, and
Definitely.
he's radiates success, but he's humble about it. Soft spoken, but also knowledgeable. Holds a lot back in terms of, like I said, being humble, but has the world to give everything. So great guy, great guy.
One up me there.
And for me, Candice, I remember before I even met you, I was kind of told about you, and when you were spoken about through Carrie, she's like, "Oh my gosh, Shiraz, I can't wait for you to meet Candice. I can't wait. You're gonna love her so much." And she had already built this up, and then I met you, and it was just eye contact, positivity.
Totally.
From day one to today, you were just such a positive. You radiate positivity.
Thank you.
So you're just such a great person to have around. I know they're very happy to have you around. I'm glad we met, and you're in my life, and now you're in our lives.
Yay.
So we all networking. We all stay together going forward, and let's all fly together.
Amazing.
All fly together.
So yeah, I just recently have kind of met you and gotten in touch, but I just feel like you have such a sweetness to you. You're just such a good, genuine, good person. And when everyone else got up and left me at the table, just kidding. No, but really, you were like, I want to know you, and you shifted instead of and it's the little things about people. Like instead of sitting across from me at the table, you shifted over and you were right in front of me, and then we had a really solid conversation. So I appreciate your openness you just want to know about people, and that's really genuine, and that really spoke to my heart. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay!
Well, thank you very much for
awesome.
thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
And
Thank
once
you.
again, how can everyone out there reach out to you, get in touch with you, and
Mhm.
remind us one more time where you're going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So June 17th, the 15th annual Art Spot YYC show. Massive amount of vendors. I will be singing. My friend Kim Smith has jewelry there as well, Dangerous Designs. Sorry, I'm shouting out way too many people.
No, it's all right.
That's the
Feel
one
free.
thing.
Feel free.
And also you can check out my music. I am on Spotify, Miss Fudge. Just like it sounds, my actual last name is Fudge, Candice Fudge, Candy Fudge. So MISSFUDGE. And then you can also get at me on Instagram at Miss Fudge the Real. So yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Until next week, everybody. Thank
Yeah.
you for being here.
Thanks
This
everybody.
was
That
a
was
great,
awesome.
great episode 8, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Perfect.